All right, so if you have a PT studio, if you have a gym, if you have any sort of health studio, I want you to just stop, turn off your phone for a second, and I want you to listen to what I have to say. Because chances are, if you're listening to this, you're probably charging $30 a month. You're probably charging $100 a month. You're probably like in this mindset of, oh, MRR is king. Well, your margins and your overhead are massive and you're barely profiting any money at the end of the month. And you're waiting for that payday and you're waiting for those electronic transfers to come through. And when they come through, they go right to the bills, right to the other trainers, right to all the charges, the software, etc. And you're left with nothing. And then when you calculate churn, you are in a business going around and around and around, never really growing. Because this is what happens with modern day gyms. And when I mean gyms, I mean PT studios and more micro gyms. So not like these big box LA Fitness gyms. What happens is pretty much you spend money or time to get clients. You get clients, and this client pays you, let's say, $50 a month, right? And let's say it costed you $50 to get that client. So now you're break even for the month. So now you wait for next month, and then that next month, let's say somebody else churns or a few other people churn. So this guy leaves. Here's a photo of a door. This guy leaves, and pretty much what happens is when he leaves, now you're at a net zero, right? So now you're gonna spend more to be in the exact same place you were before. And it's a loop that happens time and time again. We're spending money and you are losing money. So I want you to imagine, so here's a bucket, here's water droplets, this is a bucket, and you have holes in the bottom of your bucket. And when water is added to that bucket, they are dripping out of the bucket. They're not staying in the bucket, right? Why even have water dripping in when you're trying to fill up that bucket when it's just, you have holes in the bottom? This is the place many gyms, many PT studios are in. And I believe it starts with this. It starts with the pricing. Because this is always pretty much going to be pretty consistent. Unless you're an amazing advertiser, unless you're a crazy marketer and you're like some crazy person who knows everything about ads, everything about this, and you got your cost per customer really low, that is obviously plausible. But let's say you're an average person, this number right here of how much you're spending is not really going to change that often. It's going to be fairly consistent. But what you can change is you can change this number and you can change how many people churn. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do so. So pretty much over time, I'm going to share with you a graph. Pretty much over time, we have a confliction. So we have money here, and then we have time. Pretty much over time, what we want to do is we want to get the most from our customer. So this is our business, and this is the customer. Pretty much over time, we want to get the most from our customer initially and not assume the risk and get commitment. And what the customer does is they want to do the opposite. They don't trust us. They just want to get the least up front and they just want to get in, right? But pretty much with the buyer and the seller, this is called a buyer and seller dynamic. Pretty much these two people, there's this confliction, and it usually results in people meeting in the middle, right? But in order to actually be good and get money and have a killer business, you need this shifted in your direction. You need this shifted in the business's direction. Because if you always charge in accordance with what the customer wants, more shifted over here, then the customer is going to be, low emotional investment. They're going to be like, I'm not going to take it super serious. They're not really going to be super invested in the process. So going back to here, right? This lapping around and around. The best way to do this is to shift this from, okay, I'm going to give the customer what they want and I'm just going to get great results with them and then they're going to stay forever. We're going to have a happy relationship. I'll get money later from them, to know I'm going to close them and get money now with them. Because churn rate in the gym industry is very high. We know this. And the best way to do that is to increase price upfront. You want to be an upfront, cash heavy business. You want to be an upfront cash heavy business. Why do you want to be an upfront cash heavy business? Because if you stockpile a lot of cash upfront, it's a lot better than on the back end where you're waiting and there's churn, etc. But why specifically? So I'm going to show you specifically here. So when people pay money upfront, they're going to have a high emotional investment. If you pay $3,000 for a steak, you're going to really sit and eat that steak like it's the best steak you've ever had. And I'll bet my life that steak is going to be one of the best steaks you've ever had, right? A high EI is going to lead to you actually putting in the effort and seriousness. And then effort and seriousness, what that leads to is results. And then with results, you're looking at trust. And then with trust, you're looking at more money. So you can actually get more on the back end if you get more on the front end. And this is the thing that people don't get, because they are just expecting that they pay $50 a month. And because it's low price, because it's chill, that they're going to not churn and they're not going to leave. And it's just going to be this amazing, fun client journey that I'm giving you a great deal to get so much value, etc. Even if this is, let's say, $150 a month, it's still in the same boat. The barrier to entry is not that low. You want to put up the rings and you want them to jump through them. You don't want to do the opposite. You want to be in control. And the best way to do this, the best way to get this payment up front when trust is low and when you're at this confliction between what the customer wants and what you want, is to be good at one thing, and that is sales. I talk to probably 3 to 4 gym owners, PT studio owners, coaches, and they all say the same shit. I'm great at sales. They say, I'm a shark. Right? This is what they all say. I'm a shark. I'm great at sales. I close 90% of people. People say like I have a 90% close rate, etc. No shit, because these people are literally referrals. You're looking at referrals, a lot of referrals. You're looking at a lot of people who are literally just like walk-ins. And it's just super easy because they have looked you up on Google and they're just walking in that door, happy to purchase, and there's no closing that needs to be done. You could literally not have been there and you would have closed the deal, not like just say little basket, leave your money in here and you're like these people, right? So how do you get good at sales if you're a gym owner, if you're a PT studio owner? Because you probably, if you're watching this, odds are you probably think you're really good at sales, but I hate to say it, you're probably not the best, right? Because what we're going to be doing, especially with this, is you're going to have to get money up front. So what I do for the clients that I work with is pretty much what we're doing is we're booking about, on a monthly basis, about 30 sales appointments per month, right? So what that does is, obviously it's not a sales appointment, it is a free workout. We're getting these people in, booked into the calendar, and once they're in, you're gonna basically do a free workout with them. I have the exact script, I have everything, pretty much built out in terms of what you're gonna be saying, what to do, reciprocity, etc. But in terms of the calendar and in terms of actually getting what to do during the session, is you're gonna book them in, and at the end of the session, you're gonna pitch them this upfront package. How long is this upfront package? This upfront package is gonna be anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks. And you're gonna wanna think anywhere from 1K to 3K upfront. You're going to have to understand how to do, how to handle objections. You're going to have to understand how to ask questions. And not just any questions. You're going to want to know how to ask questions that invoke a lot of emotion. Because chances are, if you're selling fitness is not logical. People aren't going to go with the best thing logically. They're going to go with the best thing that makes them feel really good, right? Fitness is emotional. You are selling something emotional. So this is pretty much the strategy that I'm doing with my clients, that I am doing to get pretty much 30 sales appointments booked in their calendar for them to take, for them to have a free workout with, where then they come in, they show up, you run them through a sales process, and then at the end of that session, these people leave the gym $1,000 to $2,000 later for an upfront package, right? And pretty much what you're gonna do is, after this time has expired, you're then, because now after this, they have a ton of trust in yourself, they have a ton of certainty. What you're gonna do is, after this, you can then put them on another program, which is a monthly recurring for something also high ticket, somewhere in the range of 100 to 250, and get them consistently paying that, and watch your churn rate go from industry average, which is 10 to 25%, to something along the lines of 1%. If you enjoyed this video, leave a thumbs up. If you want this process to be done for you, I have a agency where I take on a few gyms every single month that I do this for myself, where pretty much we run the ads, we get all of the leads, nurture the leads, and book these leads directly into your sales calendar for yourself or your trainers to take. It's a fully done for you process. You have to do nothing but just take that appointment, use the script we have, and close those upfront packages. If that's something you can do, and if that's something you could take on, go down, comment that you're interested in this, and I'll probably respond to your comment within a few days and let you know if we still have availability. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time.